Hi, Assalamualaikum. Today we will present about Whistleblower Protection Act 2010. And here is our group members.
I will explain on the first part, which is the introduction. So, what is a whistleblower? Whistleblower is a person who, as an employee of a company or a government agency, discloses information to the public or a higher authority about any wrongdoing such as fraud or corruption. They come forward to share their awareness of any wrongdoing that they believe is occurring throughout the organization or in a specific department. There are specific laws in place to protect whistleblowers from being fired or mistreated. Most businesses have a separate policy outlining how to report such an incident. If companies have a simple, hassle-free way for staff and volunteers to raise concerns about things like safeguarding, health and safety, and of course, fraud, it is much easier to identify problems early and address them promptly. So why this whistleblowing is such a hot topic? The rise of whistleblowing began with the 2007 until 2008 global financial crisis, which reawakened the world to the need for corporate corruption to be addressed. Furthermore, in 2017, the Me Too campaign, which has seen Hollywood stars blow the whistle on widely spread sexual harassment allegations against Harvey Weinstein, transformed whistleblowers from troublemakers to heroes. For the next part, I will pass to RAFAIZZah.
Thank you, Fatin, for explaining what whistleblower is. Now, I will continue with the Whistleblower Protection Act 2010. As regarding this Whistleblower Protection Act under Section 6, Subsection 1, this Act will cover any person who makes a disclosure of improper conduct to any enforcement agency based on his reasonable belief that any person has engaged, is engaging, or is preparing to engage in improper conduct, provided that such disclosure is not specifically prohibited by any written law. Section 6, Subsection 2 is all about disclosure of improper conduct. Subsection 1 may also be made although the person making the disclosure is not able to identify a particular person to which the disclosure relates, although the improper conduct has occurred before the commencement of this Act, in respect of information acquired by him while he was an officer of a public body or an officer of a private body, or of any improper conduct of a person while that person was an officer of a public body or an officer of a private body. Next, Section 6, Subsection 3 provide a disclosure of improper conduct under Subsection 1 may be made orally or in writing provided that the authorized officer, upon receiving any disclosure made orally, shall, as soon as it is practicable, reduce into writing. And Section 6, Subsection 4 states a disclosure made in relation to a member of parliament or a state legislative assembly shall not amount to a breach of privilege. Any provision in any contract of employment should be void in so far as its purpose to preclude the making of a disclosure of improper conduct as stated in Section 6, Subsection 5 of Whistleblower Protection Act 2010. Now, we will discuss with what kind of protection that this Act will give to a whistleblower. This Act gives protection to any person related to or associated with the whistleblower as stated in Section 7, Subsection 1 are as follows: protection of confidential information such as name and private information, immunity from civil and criminal action, protection against detrimental action including any person that is related to. While under Section 7, Subsection 2, a whistleblower protection conferred under this section is not limited or affected in the event that the disclosure of improper conduct does not lead to any disciplinary action or prosecution of the person against whom the disclosure of improper conduct has been made. Section 7, Subsection 3 define this Act does not limit the protection conferred by any other written law to any person in relation to information given in respect of the commission of an offence. However, this Act might not be available to the whistleblower when the report of improper conduct is not made in a good faith. For instance, when the employee has participated in improper conduct reported and the report of improper conduct is made solely or substantially with the motive of avoiding dismissal. It means that the employee breached the obligation of confidential under this policy. So, as a whistleblower, if we always want to be protected by this act, we must always have a good intention or faith in every single thing that we do. For knowing details about this whistleblower, I will let Munirah to explain it. Thank you.
Thank you, RAFAIZZAH. Now I will share with you the types of the whistleblower. There are two types of it, which are internal and external whistleblower. Internal whistleblower are people who disclose corporate misconduct, fraud, or indiscipline to high management, such as the head of HR, CEO, audit department, internal hotline, and more. Financial wrongdoing, environmental breach, false claim, or anything that illegal is reported. Any action taken is done inside by corporation with no penalty or settlement with outside priorities. The hope is that internal corporate people will handle the situation professionally and fix or prevent any serious misbehavior. For the external whistleblower, is a who practice of showing a company's wrongdoing to and out of door sources, such as competitors will usually report to an outsider like a lawyer. The whistleblower also could report to an agency directly. If the reported activity involves false and misleading claims, the lawyers will advise the clients to pursue a false claim act lawsuit. Everything has their own advantage and disadvantage. The advantage of the whistleblower is exposing fraudulent activity is the right thing to do. It is beneficial when knowing you made the correct decision and aware of fraudulent behavior at your workplace. You have the options of reporting to the authorities. It is ethical responsibility to not cover your employer's secrets about committing a crime. This can assist how you avoid legal difficulty in the future. Next, retaliation protection is available, or whistleblowers are protected from retribution by their employers under the Whistleblower Protection Act. You have a legal protection if you were attacked because of your decision. It also encourages employees to be whistleblower. There are various policies that provide protections. Last but not least, potential to receive a financial reward. Another potential advantage of blowing the whistle is receive compensation as a thank you. Certain of them are entitled to financial award under the False Claim Act for their help. They may be paid a percentage of the money saved by governments as a result of the report. While for the disadvantage is career may be affected. Your job could suffer the consequence of your decision and may attract attention in the corporate world if your case become known. Most whistleblowers end up working somewhere else after the incident because you may be facing a change in office. Being labeled as a whistleblower may reduce your potential of future employment at a new organization, despite the fact that whistleblowing discrimination is illegal. Secondly, co-worker relationship may be affected. Even if you made a correct decision, some co-workers may disagree with you. They could abandon you in order to keep their own reputation by avoiding communication with you. This will make your relationship with your worker suffer as the result of reporting legal or ethical issue. Third, delays and financial impact. It can take time to collect evidence, present a case in the court, and wait for a result. It may require negotiating highly regulatory procedure and reporting to the federal governments. Some cases can take 3 to 5 years to resolve. Furthermore, since the court case is expensive, you need to pay legal fee and lawyer charge unless you get the compensation. Next, RAFAIZZAH will discuss a case in order to provide a more complete picture of this whistleblower. That's all from me. Thank you.
One of the cases that related to this Whistleblower Protection Act 2010 is Yusri Zainuddin vs Silterra Malaysia Sendian Berhad on 2017. As in this case, Yusri as a plaintiff had lodged a report about the chairman profile to MACC and made the protection report under the WPA 2010. After several days, the plaintiff got the letter of suspending suspended pending investigation for misconduct towards the defendant, Siltera Malaysia Sdn Bhd, and found guilty, which led to the termination from his employment. Plaintiff took a legal action toward damage and claimed that termination was because of disclosure of chairman misconduct in the MACC. The defendant countered back the plaintiff claim. One of the claim is to company with the procedure under the Section 15 WPA 2010, as he did not lodge any complaint with any enforcement agency before he decided to take his legal action. The court decisions under Section 15 Subsection 2 WPA 2010 allows a whistleblower to bring a legal action on his own personal capacity to seek remedies for his reprisal. It was not necessary for Yusri Zainuddin to go through any enforcement agency before he decided to take a legal action. Siltera also claimed that Yusri's legal action under the WPA 2010 amounted to duplicity of proceedings and was an abuse of the court's process. This was so as he also brought a legal actions against Siltera in the industrial court at the same time based on the same facts that relief claimed by Yusri under these two legal actions was similar to. This argument was rejected by the High Court, which held that Yusri claim in the High Court and the Industrial Court was two separate legal actions. As such, the High Court refuses to strike out Yusri's claim against Siltera.
Thank you, Rafaizzah. In conclusion, any company, private or public, that is committed to the highest level of integrity, openness and accountability in the conduct of its businesses and operation should strive to conduct its affairs in an ethical, responsible and transparent manner. Recognizing this value, such an organization or company should provide a channel for all employees and members of the general public to report any inappropriate behavior within the organization. As a result, whistleblower is becoming more widely recognized as an effective tool for fighting corruption, wrongdoing and professional misconduct within organizations. Whistleblowers, on the other hand, frequently expose themselves to significant personal risk in order to protect the public interest. They may lose their jobs, have their career prospect harmed, or even endanger their own lives as a result of speaking up. That's all from us. Thank you for spending your precious time with us.